As you know, my foamie had an unfortunate encounter with a couple of fins that exposed its insides. That made me think, we should talk about how the surfboards are made. Welcome to the Wipeout Weekly, the daily podcast for beginners, wannabe surfers, and seasoned wipeout enthusiasts. No hype, no filler, just the highs, lows, and honest truth about learning to surf and finding your place in surf culture. I'm your host, Suze Wilson. Let's go out. The most common modern surfboard is made using a polyurethane, PU, or expanded polystyrene, EPS, foam core, with a fiberglass and resin shell. I have both, so this is going to be interesting. I also have a foamie, but we're going to leave foamies for another time. Polyurethane, that's PU, is a type of plastic that is lightweight and easy to shape by hand, and it's been around since the 1950s. It's compatible with polyester resin, which is fast-curing and easy to work with. Winners. Well, not quite. The foam is made using isocyanides and blowing agents, which can be hazardous during production. That's why shaping PU blanks generates dusts and fumes that need to be handled with masks and good ventilation. Oh, and while PU boards work great, they're not eco-friendly. They don't break down easily and release VOCs, volatile organic compounds, during construction, which is one of the main reasons why some surfers are now turning into EPS, epoxy boards, and eco-friendly foams to reduce environmental impact. I have to admit, I didn't fully understand all the differences between PU and EPS until now. It's all to do with what the foam looks like inside. PU is closed and dense. EPS, bead-like and airier. As a result, PU is heavier and less buoyant for its volume. EPS can be 30-40% lighter, with more float for its volume. PU is more resistant to pressure dings, but cracks easier. EPS less so, but it can be tougher when glassed correctly with epoxy. The resulting boards offer different feels. What on earth is a feel? It basically refers to how a board responds under your feet, especially when you turn, trim, or ride through choppy waters. That's why PU boards feel so smooth and more stable, like riding a bike with suspension. Because a PU board, when glassed, absorbs vibration better. In turn, EPS foam is less dense, so it's paired with epoxy resin, which is stiffer. That makes the board more responsive, which is why shortboards are EPS. When you, because definitely not me, pump down the line or turn hard, it feels like the board rebounds quickly, giving a sense of energy or pop. Then there's flex. And that's how much a board bends and rebounds under pressure, like when you bottom turn, for instance. The way it flexes and releases affects your speed, control, and flow. So, PU boards bend gently and recover smoothly, making it feel fluid and flowy under your feet. EPS boards spring back faster after bending, which can help generate speed, especially in small waves. Oh my God, this explains so much. Back to surfboard making. A surfboard shaper starts with a foam blank. These do not grow on trees. You need to get it from a specialized blank manufacturer. These guys, probably wearing hazmat suits, pour and mold polyurethane or expanded polystyrene foam into rough surfboard shapes that come in different sizes, thicknesses, and rockers. We already talked about a rocker, but it's a curved shape of a surfboard from nose to tail. So a shaper takes such a blank, cuts, and planes it to form the basic shape of the board: rocker, rails, width, etc. They can do it by hand using planers, rasps, and sanding tools, or with CNC machines for mass production. Then, if it's a PU board, a stringer, that's a wooden strip, is glued into the center to add strength and flex control. It's not that common, but not unheard of in EPS boards. Finally, shaping follows. That includes fine-tuning of the rails, bottom contours, tail shape, nose shape. This stage effectively determines what sort of board it will be like, how it will behave in the water. Then comes the laminating, or glass layup. The board is covered in fiberglass cloth, usually one or more layers on top and bottom. Then resin is applied. PU foam uses polyester resin, rarely epoxy resin. EPS foam uses epoxy resin because polyester melts EPS. That's why when you buy a ding kit, you should remember that you can use epoxy on both PU and EPS boards, but you can't use poly on EPS. Once the resin cures, a hot coat is applied. It's a smoother outer resin layer. Then the board is sanded down to a smooth finish. The fin box goes in and is glassed with resin, and the leash plug is installed near the tail. Finally, and it's dealer's choice, boards can be painted, airbrushed, or left raw, depending on design. Some are glossed and polished, others are left matte for weight savings. So now you have all the facts. Is your next board going to be PU or EPS? And that's all for today. Check out the Wipe Out Weekly for our free newsletter, more stories and ways to connect with us. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow for more of the Wipe Out Weekly.